Discord and this. Okay, perfect.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining in on today's Lunch and Learn. We have the privilege of having Nicole with Fidelity National Title today. She's going to go over her Fidelity Total Farming, which has a lot of capabilities as to which type of client you are prospecting. Also, I'm going to get into later on a little bit about how you can use Moxie Present to target certain type of prospects like absentee owners and stuff. But we'll get to that when Nicole gets to that part of her presentation.
Is there any way that
But
I
for
can
now, let's go
hide
ahead and
this?
hand it over to Nicole so she can go ahead and start
Okay.
her presentation today, okay? I hope you guys all get a lot of good information today that you can use.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining here in person as well as via Zoom. This is a follow-up class to our Fidelity Total Farm that we conducted last month. And thank you for the opportunity to come in and present to all of you and provide you with the necessary tools to help you guys be successful and put more money in your pocket, right? That's what everybody wants. So thank you. If you do have any questions during the demonstration or class training, please feel free to unmute yourself, ask questions. This is, time for us to just collaborate, and I want to help all of you, okay? So I'm logged into our demo account because I wanted to show you the capability that's available through the Total Farm. And so this is the complete unlocked version of our Fidelity Total Farm. And this includes the LE services, which are the paid services, okay? So what you see right now is considered the dashboard. So for those of you that have already created an account through me and requested farms, your dashboard will already, hello, Alex, come on in. Your dashboard will already have your farm loaded into your account, okay? So that's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to click on the farm here that's named Rancho Mirage, okay? And with Rancho Mirage, it shows the date that we created this. And I'm just going to do a brief review, okay? So this Rancho Mirage farm was created in December, and it's an A grade because of the turnover rate. So remember, the higher the turnover rate, the better the grade, A through D. So as we all know, and hopefully everybody should know this, the turnover rates, we want to try and target properties that have a 5% or greater. That's if you're just going to search a particular area and not using any of the niches, which we will discuss in a moment. And then Ruben's going to share some information on ways to help you guys with that, okay? So in this case, this Rancho Mirage farm, there's 227 records. So it's a small area, and it's a 7.49% turnover rate. So the likelihood of you obtaining a listing in that area is rather high because there's a lot of activity in that area, okay? So that's what this turnover rate means, the number of records. And then if you remember, these farms are updated automatically for you. So I know in the past you would have to call your favorite title rep, hopefully it was us, and ask us for a farm to be updated. Well, now you don't have to do that because Total Farm automatically updates these farms for you. So if there's a sale, a transfer, if they're transferring title from their individual name into an LLC, then that would trigger some sort of transfer to the property. If there's a notice of default filed, a notice of trustee sale, if there's a life-changing event, birth, death, marriage, divorce, any of those items will automatically be pushed to you via email. So any farms that you have here in your dashboard, you will receive an email giving you notification of what's going on in that particular farm. And it does allow you the capability to actually click on that particular record. So if it's a life-changing, maybe death, you can pull probate leads. Those are for a fee. Unfortunately, we're not able to provide that information for free because of our hands being tied with the insurance commissioner.
What's the cost?
It's $5 a lead for the life-changing, which is birth, death, marriage, and divorce, okay? If it's a notice of default, notice of trustee sale, those are 25 cents per lead, okay? So, yeah. So I just wanted to share those items. I will show you once we actually dive into our farm. So I just wanted to recap what you'll see on the dashboard, okay? And you see on the far right, it says LE services. Again, in the beginning, I said that I'm using a demo account that's unlocked. So this is already a paid account. This allows us to look at everything that's available within our total farm. Okay, so this LE service is unlocked. So I will click on this demo just so you can see. And once you're in your farm, I suggest that first thing that you do is you go and look at the stats, because you want to see what's going on in that particular farm, right? Why is it such a high turnover rate? And what's the average number of years that individuals are staying in the property? This way you can kind of gauge, who should I be going after, right? So in this particular farm area, the average number of years that the homeowners are staying in the property is 10.71 years, or almost 11 years, right? So we could then go into our farm filter and we can select that range. You can also look to see how many recent buyers purchased in this farm within the last 90 days. So right off the bat, you can see that there were 15 individuals that purchased, or 15 properties that just transferred hands. So you could go in and remove these recent buyers. That way you're not targeting these individuals, especially if you're going to be doing mailers, or if you're going to be paying for information. You don't want to be soliciting somebody that just recently purchased, right? You want to be cautious of your marketing dollars. Out-of-state owners. So if you wanted to write a little handwritten note, and Ruben, I don't know if this is an area where you want to jump in with the out-of-state owners, also with our focus farm, and even individuals that have owned for 25 plus years are empty nesters. So I know you have a resource to help the agents.
Well,
Jump in.
Can you hear me okay, Nicole?
Yes.
Yeah, so in reference to any of these specialized farms or filtered farms, utilizing the Moxie Present, you can actually request the farm from Nicole and request the email. So let's just say, for instance, you want to target this week or this month empty nesters or absentee owners, right? And you trigger a certain area, and that area has, I don't know, let's just say 200 absentee owners that you want to market, right? Well, you're going to get their emails through Nicole, and what you could do is utilize Moxie Present, because you can, if you really get to know Moxie Present, you can generate a beautiful, professional, customized and branded to your name CMA report that is linked to your MLS within 5 minutes. I think you could actually get it down to like 2 or 3 minutes if you really are fluent with it and can navigate with technology. But if you sit down and you do 5 a day, let's just say, you send CMAs to these absentee owners, the odds of you getting a callback or an interested party are going to be higher than, you know, just sending calling them or sending them a generic email. You're actually sending them a presentation for that particular property, which is their property. So the odds of them opening up and reviewing your presentation are going to be a lot higher and stuff. So that's what I wanted to let you all know. This Friday, I'm going to go over Moxie Present again, but you can use the technology that you have that Coldwell Banker is providing you through CB and incorporate it with these farms. And, you know, if you want to do 20 a day, you just increase your odds for productivity even more so. So we'll go over that on Friday, but yes, you have a very, very great tool in your CB desk that you can incorporate with all of these farms that Nicole is going to be going over. Okay.
So it allows them to push out emails then. So it's an email campaign, correct?
Yeah, well, no, you could print them too, but you
Okay.
know, think about it. Email campaign is not going to cost you anything. It's going to cost you 5 minutes of your time. So that's the easiest way, and it's a beautiful presentation. So I myself, as an owner of a property, would look at it because I want to see what this agent has to say about my property. So, and it's branded all over with your agent and your contact information. So, you know, it's worth your 5 minutes of time, and it's free. It's just 5 minutes of your time.
So the Moxie portion is free, but the emails you do have to pay for through the program here. Okay, so I'll go over that. And phone numbers. So for those of you that like to cold call, phone numbers are also available through the premium version as well. Okay. If you choose to just maybe mail rather than using these other resources, which are great resources, I think the email, as Ruben said, it's easy. You have something in your toolbox that's available here. Take advantage of it, you know. Push it out via email. You can even send a little note in the mail, include it in a self-addressed or an envelope that's mailed to the property owner.
Can I add one thing, Nicole?
Yes.
Also, you're going to get their email and their phone number, so you can put that information into your CRM. And Moxie has a CRM. It's called Engage, and you can set a reminder to email that same absentee owner or whichever farm that you're utilizing, and you know, ask for an update. Hey, did you receive my presentation? Would you like a updated presentation? You know, it's a good way to follow through with your potential prospects.
And so you just brought that up. So I was just in the farm while you were sharing this, Ruben, and let me click back onto that farm. If you go over here to the share feature and you go to CRM exports, you'll see that it has Moxie here. So if you're using Moxie, which I hope you are, you can then take this farm and you can download all of the property owners that are in here and any phone numbers or email addresses that you have paid for, and then you can upload it into your Moxie account. Okay, so it works with your CRM system. So you're not having to figure out how, and it's called mapping. How am I going to map those fields? And when I say mapping and fields, it's referring to the owner's name, the property address, the site address, mailing address, phone number, email, all the characteristics. All of that information is set up for you, so you're not having to figure out, okay, how do I get all of this to connect and work together? So it'll seamlessly upload into your Moxie. Okay, so just wanted to share since Ruben brought that up. If you're using another CMA, again, you can click on this CMA export and you'll see there's a whole list of CMA programs that you can export the data to.
You mean CRM?
CRM. And it is an Excel file. So if you're familiar with Excel, it's an Excel CSV file. That's how they label it. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, we're good. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, question before you go on.
Yes.
So when I open this program, this first page, I assume I already opened it with my account.
Correct.
So if I send it to Moxie, it's gonna go under my account. or
It's,
not?
it's gonna go, so what you would be doing is you would be into your total farm account. You'd come in here and you would go to share within the farm, and then you would export the file as a Moxie. And then you'll save it to your desktop computer. And then when you're logged into Moxie, then you'll upload that file. Is that something that you're gonna be talking about on Friday, Ruben? How to import into Moxie?
No, I can, but, no, I'm just gonna go over, the Moxie presentations.
Okay, okay.
You can do that in the next one.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And for any of you that are on the Zoom, if you have questions, please feel free to ask, okay? So again, we're gonna look at our farm here. Again, recent buyers. We want to remove those people from our lists. So what you would do is you would go and click on recent buyers and it pulls up those 15 records. So I now can click on select and it check marks all those 15 owners. And we can now go to actions and we can move them to flagged. So it's going to remove them from our farm and it's going to put them in a separate folder. And let me see, I need to move the bar. Hold on one moment. So it's going to move them over here to flagged, which is just before our premium leads. Okay, so now I'm going to click on flagged. And you'll see it did not move them. Let me go back. Do that step again. Let me move them here to flagged. Click OK. Now they should be in our flagged. Huh, interesting. They should be here. There might be a glitch and I can log into my account after and just verify. While I'm here, does everybody see right here in the lower right-hand corner, it says RE agents in complete farm. There's 23.
No.
Yeah.
So it's right over here.
Oh, okay, yes.
So with the LE version, which is the paid version, it's $19.95 a month, and you can cancel at any time. It will automatically remove any real estate agents that are within your farm. Okay. It will also notify you if there's any properties that are currently for sale. So if there's any that are currently for sale, they would be highlighted in yellow. And you'll see that down here, currently for sale. So anything up here that's in yellow, that would be one that you would want to remove from your farm because you don't want to solicit, right? To a property that's already listed. You could then go check it and move it into your flagged and then go back and check and see, okay, maybe they took it off the market, maybe it expired, then you can add them back in and that would be somebody to go and solicit once the listing's expired, or using your MLS, go in and pull up expired listings. That's a great farm to go after, okay? And speaking of that, within our farm here, you do have the ability to pull up individuals that maybe previously had their property listed, maybe a year, up to 6 years. You could go in here to the ready to relist under our LE, and any of these properties, and I'm going to click on that. There are 22 properties within this ready to list. And these are, again, our properties that were previously listed a year to 6 years ago. So you could reach out to these 22 property owners and use your Moxie report to send out to them. Or if you want to go door knock, go door knock. Okay.
Will they provide us with the phone number and the email address of that?
So see where it says phone and email and there's a red check? Any of these properties that have a red check next to it under phone, then yes, you can pay for the phone number. If they have an email, yes, you can
So if they
Pull
don't
the
have
email.
a check, you cannot.
Exactly. So they have to have a red check next to them for phone or email. That allows us to know that, okay, they do have a phone number associated with this property owner, or they do have an email. So as an example, this Mira has a phone and email. So you could pay for both of those and download that information. But if they,
I'm sorry, what's the monthly cost again?
so it's $19.95 a month for the LE. And that also unlocks potential flippers. So if there are individuals that purchased properties and they've gone in and fixed, they might be ready to list now. So those are potential flippers. Any properties that are currently listed, so we can click on that. And these are the properties that are currently listed, so we could quickly go in. There's only 5. We can select these, and again, we can move these to our flagged so that they're removed from your farm. Yes,
Even if you have the LE account, but if you want to acquire the email and phone number, you still have to pay for it.
you get a certain amount of phone numbers and emails through the LE, but they're licensed, which means you don't own that email address, so you would have to use the e-marketing function here. So the way that you're trying to obtain those email addresses wouldn't work for the Moxie, but there's a workaround, okay? So I'm just demonstrating the LE. You do not need to purchase LE. If you just want to use our free version, you have the ability to do that, and you can still purchase those phone and email addresses.
Separate.
Mhm. Yeah, okay, so there's 2 different ways. One is a licensed where you don't have access to those, you're not able to download them. You have to market through the e-marketing function
Now, they
that's
will
here.
send it out for you, but you don't know exactly what email they send it out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you don't really have
The
full
ownership.
control. Yeah, you don't have ownership. You don't have full control like you would if you're sending it from your own email.
Okay.
From your own email, you're able to see, okay, who logged in, who checked it out. But with your information that we've used to create your account, you should receive the responses back from the property owner if you're using the licensed and this e-marketing function. Okay. Everybody understand? Did I confuse you?
Branded, right?
You can brand it, so you can go in and you can change the look and feel. So here's what these emails look like. These are the license. So you see, it doesn't tell you is it Gmail, Yahoo. So it doesn't give you the entire email address, okay? But you can go in here to the campaign and you can manage, they've already created campaigns within the program. Bless you.
Thank you.
So you could go in, you could pull up this just a follow-up, gives a description, and then you can click on it and it should, here's the sample. So you can go in and brand and customize this. It allows you to do all of that. So this would be another class if anybody's interested in this, because you'd have to upload your photo. Or if you're interested, I can sit down with you or one-on-one or a few agents. Okay, so yes, you can go in and customize this for your particular account. Add your photo, add your logo, all of that. And then you can add documents, so they could even attach that Moxie file if they wanted to as well. Okay, any other questions? Oscar, did you have any?
No.
Okay. Okay. So again, that's under the e-marketing. Let me go back here. So potential flippers, we did equity. This is also a great option within the Total Farm LE version, because this allows you to see individuals that have equity in their property. So if you wanted to reach out to them and say, you know, this is a great time for you to buy, there's fewer buyers out there, you don't have to fight over property. There's less competition, right? And you see that they have equity here. They could pull from that equity and buy a second property if they wanted to. So that's where the equity feature comes in, okay? So again, these are all under LE. Under the free version, all of these items to the right of with notes, you can access and you don't have to pay for anything, okay? So this is where you can go in and again, pull up the recent buyers. So I think there were 15 as we see here. You can move these individuals to the flagged again, because you don't want to reach out to the recent buyers, right? We can go to actions and we can move these to flagged. And now they're gone. We can go and pull our out-of-state owners. There's 16 records. So depending on your farm, some of the farms that have been uploaded, there's 2, 3, 4,000 records, which is a lot, okay? And we recommend that you upload maybe 2,000, 3,000 at the most. And the reason for that is because you have a larger area, but as you can see, once you come into the farm, you can really break it down into smaller niche farms, right? So you can target the absentee owners. You can target out of state only. You can target owner occupied. So within that larger farm, you can create these smaller niche farms. Okay, so let's say we were in this farm, and from this farm, I wanted to create a separate farm file that's just for out of state. I could do this, and I could click here, and I could say, let's export this file, and then we can export and then upload, or I could have our farm department upload for you, and we can create a separate farm file. That way it's on your dashboard and you're not looking at the entire farm if you want to do that, okay? Also with the farm filters, when we were looking at the stats, this allows you to go in and search the average stay in years. So as we saw, it was 11 years. We could click here on the 5 to 13, or we could do 13 plus, and this will give us a small farm of 281 property owners. So depending on what you plan to do for your farming, if you're going to send the emails, or if you are going to door knock, which we have a app, the Fidelity Total Farm app that you can download to your smartphone. It will work with the desktop, so they communicate with each other. So I recommend that you have your farm here created on your desktop first. Once you have it created, then you can pull it up on your phone and you can go door knocking. And you can make notes within your farm on your phone, and then it will sync to the desktop. So if there's a property owner in there that says, you know, I'm not interested in selling right now, but we're thinking about listing in the next 3 months, then you can set a reminder and just stay in contact with those individuals.
Anything you do on your mobile phone will revert back to your desktop.
Yes, so they will work together, they will sync and share information. And then with the Moxie program that you have, then you can send, you know, send them information. And then with the resources that we have, such as our SoCal comps and off-market sales, that's information that we can provide to you, or I can give you access and you can pull that information. It's updated monthly and it shows you what's going on in the market for single family, for multi-units, for vacant land, and it's for all of Southern California. And then it also includes those trend reports and off-market sales. Okay, so that's also additional information that you can use to push out. And then we also have our Altos research that we're pushing out once a week. And if you're not receiving that email, let me know, because we can set it up for you for a specific county or zip code. And then it'll let you know what's going on in the marketplace every week, how many properties are on the market, what the average days on market is, what the average list price is. It's a really powerful report to keep you, informed about what's going on in that particular area that you're targeting, or maybe you have a listing. And this is a resource for you to try and get the seller to reduce the list price. Then you can pull this information. Okay, if they've listed high and they don't want to reduce, then all of these resources together can help you have a conversation with the seller to show them, look, this is what's going on in the market. Okay. Also, homeowners exemption. Are you all familiar with homeowners exemption? So this homeowners exemption is another great niche, because this is actually polling the property owners within the farm that have not filed a homeowners exemption form. So this is another touch, another way for you to reach out to these property owners and let them know, are you aware of an exemption that you may be missing out on? Yes, I know it's a small fraction that they're going to save on their property taxes, but it's over the life of them owning that property. But it's just another way for you to connect with them and provide them information. And if you need the forms, I can provide the forms to you. Okay, so it's $7,000 over, the life of the ownership, and it's only for owner occupied. So the way they calculate it is maybe a couple dollars, maybe $10 a year that they can save off of their property taxes. But again, it's just another way for you to stay top of mind and give them knowledge and information. And I know I was having a conversation earlier with a couple of the agents here with regards to propositions. So if you're changing ownership and it's from parent to child, grandparent to grandchild, or you're selling your principal place of residence and you're moving to a new residence. Everybody's familiar with the Prop 19 form that took place. I think it's been a year now. It was lumped into one because it was 3 propositions that they merged into one. Okay. So that's also another conversation that you can have with property owners. I know we're getting a lot of calls. Oh, I want to transfer title to my child or to my grandchildren. That's great, but anytime you transfer title, it could trigger a reassessment in the property taxes. So there might be a proposition there that could benefit the property owners, but there are guidelines. Okay, so I got off a little bit, but I just wanted to share. Anytime they transfer title, so if you see that ownership has changed here, and maybe it wasn't a sale, maybe they went from one individual to another, just know that that could trigger a reassessment. If it's from siblings, that could trigger a reassessment. If it's going from spouses, it should not trigger a reassessment. If it's going into a trust, same, it should not trigger a reassessment, but I don't work for the county. Okay, so it's up to them. They would reach out to you or your clients and ask for supporting documentation. Yes, Irma.
What about if you just add somebody to the title?
If you add somebody, go off title, anytime there's a transfer of title, it could trigger that reassessment. So
But it's not really a transfer, it's just adding somebody to the title.
doesn't matter. It's considered a transfer because it's a change in title.
Okay.
Yes. So when you're filing those grant deeds or quitclaim deeds, there's a preliminary change of ownership form that is usually attached, and there's questions there that they ask. That helps them determine if the property is going to be reassessed. And if the county has questions, then they will reach out to you via mail. They will never call you. They will send a letter to you. Okay.
Nicole, what about the person is refinancing? That would trigger also that?
If they refinance and change title, so if they change the name, the vested ownership, that could trigger, depending on what the change is. But if it's a refinance and it's just a new loan, that should not. It's only if ownership is changing.
So if
Okay,
it was a regular person and you change it to living trust, for instance, you give a living trust, that will,
you should be fine because as long as the individuals that were on title originally and now are transferring into their trust and they're the same people, then it should not trigger.
Thank
Mhm. Any other questions?
Well,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Charles, but
Don't be
say
sorry.
like 8 years ago, somebody, luckily she was able to sign a house over to the son. And taxes remained the same. Nothing changed. But now with new rules coming into the house, had it been done now, it would have changed the whole.
So before, under the different propositions, it would have been fine, but now under the new Prop 19, they have to occupy the property. So if it's being transferred from parent to child, grandparent to grandchild, there's guidelines, and one of them is they have to occupy the property. Otherwise,
And how long
it's-
do they have to occupy the property to avoid any changes on the tax?
I need to verify because I know there's been a lot of questions back and forth, so I'll verify. Okay. So again, I just wanted to share these again are different little niches and ways for you to pull up your farm and figure out who you want to target. And as we were mentioning, you can use e-marketing. You can also utilize mail merge. So within the share options, there are mail merge letters that are built into the program as well that you can also go in, and I don't want to merge all of these. So let me just show you a sample with these buyers. So I can click on merge letters since it's a small group. And then it allows you to go in and look at the sample letters that are here. And you can preview them. So you can preview first. So maybe you're going after divorces. There's a divorce letter here or a divorce prospecting letter. We can click on preview and it will show your sample letter here. And then you have the ability to then go in and customize. Just like you can with the e-marketing. So if you're going to do the e-marketing, you can go in and customize this, put your photo, your logo, all of your contact information, okay? So that again is the mail merge feature. That is under LE. If you choose to use the free version, you can pay only for the mail merge if you want, and that's $12.95 a year or $13 a year. So if you want the mail merge only, you can choose to just pay for that. Okay.
in the 1995, we covered that in all the.
And everything else, removing your local or friendly realtors, anything that's listed, your next sellers, the equity, that's all under the LE, the paid.
You just won't be able to email it directly from your.
Right, right.
Won't?
No, because it's a license, so they won't give you the complete email address.
So if, in essence, if you have the LE, but you still want to utilize the emails to be able to send them through Moxie Present, you would have to buy them a la carte.
Yeah, so you
wanna
could,
Let them know?
yes, so you could buy them a la carte. So if you wanted, for those of you that are here joining us on Zoom, if you wanted to sign up for the LE, you have the capability to utilize all of the resources that are here, the listed, the potential flippers, the equity, hot properties, the ready to list, also removing real estate agents from your farm, also highlighting in yellow the properties that are currently listed. You also receive a certain number of email addresses, but they're licensed. So again, you don't have full access to that email. But you do have the ability to still purchase those emails a la carte. So if you want to buy them, and I'll show you how to go in and pull those emails and phone numbers if that's something that you wish to pursue. Okay?
2 questions.
Yes.
First is removing the real estate agents from your list, because obviously you don't want to prospect them, right?
Right.
Is that linked to the DRE, or how do you get that data?
They've gone in and pulled that information
Right.
through DRE and other resources. Mhm. Yeah.
And, does everybody know how to sign up for this?
No, good question.
Right.
So for those of you that don't have an account, I think everybody in here,
Regardless.
yeah, everybody in here has logins. So if you do not have an account, you can reach out to me and I can create the account for you. Or, and I'll put it in the chat, or you can go to the website, which is fidelitytotalfarm.com. Thank you, Ruben. I forgot. I was just assuming everybody had the account. So it's fidelitytotalfarm.com. And when you log in for the first time, you want to say you're a new user and you'll fill out the form. It asks for your email address and all of your contact information. You'll create that and it'll ask you to create a password. You'll create that password and then it's going to ask for a code. So that code is fidelity number 1. And again, I will put this in the chat. Okay. For those of you and those of you that are here, I'll write it down. Yes.
Now, is this different from Agent 1?
This is different from Agent 1. So we
You need both.
yes. So we are going to be doing a class next month, I believe we said, on Fidelity Agent 1, which is another tool that we have to help you guys. So now that you have your farm here, you're prospecting, you get a lead and you want to be able to create a net sheet. That's where our Fidelity Agent 1 program comes in. It also has additional calculators in there. If you're working with buyers, you can calculate their monthly fee, and there's all kinds of other resources. So we're going to be discussing that next month.
So going into this next session for Agent 1, they're gonna be requesting information for Fidelity Total Farm. They might as well get it for Agent 1 as well. So with the anticipation of us going
Sure.
going into that next
Sure.
month, right?
Yeah.
So can you let them know that, ask for both?
Okay, so when you send, and when I put my info in the chat, in case you don't have my contact information, send me an email. I'll create your Total Farm account for you, as well as the Fidelity Agent 1 account. This way you have access. You can download it to your smartphone and your desktop, so it works with both. And then I will discuss the ins and outs to the program. There are amazing features, especially, I know Monday you guys had your meeting and they were talking about social media. So there are premium features that are built into the Fidelity Agent 1 app that allow you to post to your social media. Okay. So 2 phenomenal resources, and this is just a little bit of what we have to offer. And again, going into the social media, you can also, through Fidelity Total Farm, under e-marketing, you can create ads. Okay, so if you guys are looking to create Facebook or Instagram ads through Fidelity Total Farm, it allows you to do that. Branded, you have to provide the image. So they have templates here that you can see. There's about 7 different templates here. And these right now are, an ad if you wanted to place it, but you have the ability to go in and change this image. So you can change it to one image. You can create carousel images. Does everybody know what a carousel is? So carousel allows you to upload multiple photos And so basically, when the consumer, you, myself, when we're looking at Facebook or Instagram ad and somebody posts images and there's multiple images, that's called a carousel because it allows you to swipe through and look at those multiple images. And what do you think it's doing? It's keeping you engaged longer, right? Because you're swiping through, so you're staying on that individual's account longer. So it keeps them engaged and linked to you longer. That's what the carousel is. Another thing you can do, video. I know everybody's afraid to do video, including myself, but really it is the best way for you to get in front of your clients so they can get to know you, your personality. I know I'm guilty of just posting images and sharing content. I'm trying to do more video and it's growing my followers because they get to see who you are. You don't want to just post business. You want people to see who you are, what you're interested in. And I know they talked about that in your meeting on Monday. So again, this e-marketing, using this Facebook and Instagram ad, this is another way for you to get more exposure. And you can do it in a large scale by reaching a particular city or within the actual farm. You can send to those property owners that have a Facebook or Instagram account. Okay, so if you have an upcoming open house, this is a great way for you to get the word out. You can post a image, and again, we have a resource to help you pull social content that you can brand. And I don't know if Moxie or your system has any social pieces that they could brand. And if
Impressed.
okay.
Does this, so you have to link it with your Instagram?
No, so this does not link to your account. This is actually going to be pushed out for you, okay, through our back end team that has created this account. They will go in and they will post this for you. And you can run the ad, and it's an ad. So for those of you, how many of you are on social media using Instagram or Facebook? Anybody in here? 1, 2? Okay.
Nobody's done that Instagram?
So,
No.
Okay.
Facebook or-
But we're already very social.
how many of you on that are joining us on Zoom? How many of you are using social media? You can leave me a chat. So I'm sharing information here that nobody's really tapping into. And this is great because you can get your name and your face out there. Look at, for 10 days, you can run an ad for $75.
For
10 days,
Oh my.
$75. So it has your information there and it reaches those property owners that are within that farm or an entire city. Doesn't matter, either one, same price, but it's getting your name and your face out there. And then if you go door knocking to invite the homeowners to the open house, then that's another touch. Then when you hold the open house, that's a third touch, right? So the more that you get your name and your face out there, the more they're going to become familiar with you and they're going to want to work with you and list with you, right? So this is social. So for those of you that are using this, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. Those of you that are not set up yet, you can still create accounts. And if you need help, we're here.
Is that, when you set up this campaign, is that same post? That post is the same post that's posted every.
It's going to run for 10 days. And so it'll show up on the feed. And so what happens is the back end team that created this program for us, they will go in and I wasn't aware of this. So anytime ads are placed through Facebook or Instagram, it's like the stock market. The cost is constantly changing. So you and I don't have the time to sit there and watch and see when we can place our ad where it's posted at the optimized time and price, right? They do all of that for you. They want to make sure that you're getting the best value for your money. Okay, so our back-end team at New Home Page will be the ones to monitor this. They push it to Facebook and Instagram it, and they will then place the ad. So when you're in Facebook or Instagram and you're looking, it's called the feed. You can look at different people and see what they're posting, and it's called the feed, and then it'll say sponsored. These would be like the ads. So here's a sponsored ad. It's an open house, and it highlights the property, and it has your information. They can contact you.
Any feed that comes on your phone that's not one of your contacts, that's an ad
An ad. Yep.
or sponsored.
Yeah.
Are these ads being, like, if they click on it, will they show you guys a report?
So they've been adding this. Good question. If I go back and I go up here to manage these posts, so once we've placed the ad,
Mhm.
we can go in and we can see, okay, what happened with this post here on Kendra? We can look at the actions and we can look at the stats. So again, it's not using your own personal account, okay? It's pushing out as an ad. This shows when the ad was run, when it ended, that it's complete, how many impressions, the cost per impression, how many people clicked on the actual ad to look at it, and then the cost per click, and then how many people it reached.
So because it's not through our social media account directly,
Right.
how would they engage with the agent?
So if there's responses that are sent, then New Homepage will forward those responses to you as the agent. You can also click on the ad name. And it shows, here's the engagement. There was 2 thumbs up. So if there's actual comments that are being made, then those will be pushed through to you. And also when you are placing your ad, you can link to your URL. So if you have your own web page, you can link it to your own web page so that it directs them to your web page.
So if they click on the ad, it'll go to my webpage?
If they click on the destination URL, yes, it'll go to your web page, so it'll take them directly. So you
So
can,
they don't have like an action button. Now regarding the data that you collect for, the performance of the ad, does it give you the actual, data from who clicked on it?
as far as demographic or the individual's name,
Specifics to, like, let's say I saw your ad and I clicked on it to look at it. So now that performance data gets put into a report, right? Would you be able to see that I clicked on it and have my specific data? You know what I'm saying?
yes, I do. So if I clicked on it, would it show that it's coming from Nicole Menard
Yes,
using Instagram or Facebook?
right.
That's a good question that I have
Okay,
not been
yeah.
asked, and I will ask.
But then you would have
Yeah,
another farm to farm.
exactly. So I don't know if you heard Ruben's question. For those of you that are joining us via Zoom, Ruben asked if we're using this Facebook and Instagram and somebody sends us a response, are we able to provide that information, who that individual was that clicked on and engaged, and maybe have access to their Instagram or Facebook account? I am going to find out because I have not been asked that question. Honestly, we don't have a lot of people that are utilizing this.
Well, because
For
you
their
can also go
marketing.
direct,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
also go direct. But if you're in here, you can utilize this path to
Right.
get your ad out.
Well, and they also created this for those that are not real familiar with placing ads.
Right, you do all the work for you.
Exactly. They do all the
No.
work for you.
Can we put for instance, because I look at Facebook and most of the people that have family members, can we make a business?
So you can create a business account. Yes. So you can
Yeah.
have your personal and then you can have a business account.
I mean, I have a Facebook and I can put up on my Facebook open house, but people out of the country, family members or whatever, were seeing these ads, it makes no sense for them to see this ad because they are not here. So how can I target, for instance, San Gabriel, whatever area clientele?
So I still think it's great to post on your own personal feed because they might have family or friends that are here or might know somebody that's here, or they might be looking to buy or sell or know somebody that's looking to buy or sell here.
Okay.
So that's my
Mhm.
thought.
Now, are you required to use only these templates, or can you put your own post in there?
So these are the templates that they've created. You can go in and change what's here.
You can't.
I
import-
don't know how to import a different, yeah. So the way that we have learned how to do this is basically just going in and changing the title, the headline, the description, changing the ad type, this image. So you can change all of this. You can change the ad display as long as you know how to utilize this, you know the links. You can change all of that yourself. But as far as this template here, no, they've done all that because it has all the coding in the background. So you'd have to use one of these templates and then customize it for what you want.
So the person who receives that would be able to recognize and contact the agent, right? Because they would have their information.
As long as you're uploading, let's say an image here and it has your contact information. So before, when they first rolled this out, Facebook wouldn't allow you to put any of your contact information on there. You couldn't put your name, your phone number, your company, which was crazy. Now they allow you to put all of that. So whatever marketing piece that you're going to be highlighting here, you want to make sure your face is on there, your company name, your phone number, your email address, all of that. That way they can contact you.
So within this post, let's say, for instance, let's just have that open house image right there as an
Right.
example.
Right.
You can actually put a action button on that image to where it'll hyperlink to the agent's website. Is that right?
So right here, you could enter the URL and it will hyperlink to their website. And then up here, so you see open house, you don't want to miss this gem. Well, in this image, it doesn't show the property. It doesn't give an address or anything, right? So they don't know where the open house is. You would have to make sure that you incorporate that information either up here in the headline or description or in the image or your hyperlink. So if you're linking it to the website, then you would need to have that information there for the open house.
So okay, so it won't link to a phone number though, right? Like for a contact me type?
No, not here. It's just the URL.
So Nicole, as you mentioned, for instance, so we had to put the address of the open house. No, of course, because nobody gonna know.
Right.
If that is dangerous, what if you have a vacant house? And you put an address over there, and everybody will know this property is vacant.
Well, you're always gonna have that threat because
Yeah.
yeah, I see it.
Redfin.
If you do a flyer, go the neighborhood around, okay, but this is,
Okay, but what's the difference between this, Zillow, Redfin,
Yeah,
all of that information? I could go to Redfin, I could type the address in and I could see, okay, this is open on Saturday
okay,
from
you know,
12 to
that's
4.
good.
So it's public information. Anybody can go in. Mhm.
Cause that's always the thin line between advertising to get the most exposure,
Yeah,
plus also the threat of, criminal activity. But what are you gonna do?
yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
one of the things, some of my real estate friends not here, actually are getting their license for a gun. Not that they're gonna be shooting the customers, okay? But if they're by themselves, they're taking those measures. And some of them are very, always take, well, a male or a very strong woman with you. Don't call me, no,
Yeah,
but
but that's getting into security, like. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get
yeah,
to
but just one piece
advertising.
to mention, because I think I understand what he's, what he was saying about safety.
Right. So that's a little bit about, well, it's longer than a little bit, the Facebook and Instagram ad. I just want to show you, because we were talking about phone and emails. Under this premium, you guys can all see it's all the way to the far right. This is where you can purchase those NODs, NOSs, and then, or notice of trustee sales, phone and emails, okay? So you'll see here, it says licensed emails. Those are the ones that you don't get to take with you. They stay here. It doesn't show the complete email address, right? Purchase emails, that's where you can purchase those and it will automatically be populated and brought into your farm. So I could click here on purchase emails. And because I have the LE, it just allowed me to purchase those. So there's 111 new records available. So within that farm, there's 111 emails, okay, that were available. And we can purchase those and I can click on get records, or there's two different ways. You can use credits. You can refill your credits. So you would enter your credit card information and you can use credits and you'll get a little bit of a discount by using the credits.
Okay, as you go.
Or pay as you go, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? How many of the emails are actually, the emails are actually valid emails?
We don't know. We've been told that it's
And how
70 to
much do you
80% accuracy, but you could, it's whatever email address you choose to give. So we don't know.
That data comes from the county recorder's
No, that data comes from other outside
parties.
sources that they're pulling from, and they scrub with various, and they don't tell us which
Yeah.
resources they're using.
Toxic waste, stuff like that.
If I farm a certain area, let's just say 91107, right, for
Uh-huh.
emails or for whatever. And then a month later, 2 months later, after I'm done with that farm, I want to update that farm. Is it gonna give me duplicates? Or
Meaning-
just new ones other than what I've already gotten? How does your system know
So,
that I've already received these emails? I'm seeing if there's any additional or phone numbers.
so the best way to do that is if it's the same farm area, is to then go and look at the niche farms and pull up the recent buyers. And then you can download, because if you're doing it from your existing, then
They'll give you duplicates, right?
it may duplicate.
So
Yeah,
so that's very important to know, because if you wanna update your farm, you're gonna pay for the same farm twice.
I created a farm, but I just can't seem to have access to.
okay.
We can go
To
after.
the farm, I'll come over and show you after, okay? So that's how you're able to purchase those phone and emails for those of you that would like to have access to this, okay? Any other questions? Because I ran a little over. Anybody on the chat here have questions for me? If not, I thank you all for your time, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my contact information in the chat here.
What is LE that you have?
That's just the premium, account. LE, it's like a car, EX or XLE or whatever. LE is just. what
So
the
if you
label-
want me to create accounts for you, for those of you that are on Zoom, just send me an email and I'll create the Fidelity Total Farm account and then also Fidelity Agent. So please specify that in your email.
If you're doing what we're discussing, you probably buy it, exact, buy it that on, you want to pay for it. But you can't get that data, certain data, unless you don't have an hourly account.
I'm just typing in the chat, providing them contact information.
So while you're doing that, if you don't have an hourly account, you can't get certain data, but if you have an Ally account, you can't brand it when you email, right? So it's kind of a catch-22.
No, you can still brand it with the
But it
email,
goes
but you'll
out
have to
through-
pay
But it
through that
goes-
licensing.
But it goes through the title company, right, your company, and we can't brand it with our Moxie. thing, right?
So you wouldn't be able to pull it into your Moxie.
Right.
You'd have to do it here through the Total Farm program.
So that's where, what we were discussing. with the
Yeah.
work and stuff.
If you're looking to use your Moxie and be able to pull those emails and download them and have them and own them, then I suggest purchasing them. Don't do the licensed
It
because
depends on how you're gonna farm. If you're gonna farm and utilize Moxie Present, don't do Ally and do it, purchase it à la carte.
No
Okay,
matter how you want to farm, you have to do some of the work. You
yes,
cannot have everything
Oh, yeah.
automatically.
right,
So what you can do is get the email ads, you filter it the way you want it.
purchase it,
And then, yeah, purchase it and the way you want it, and then you merge into Moxie. And then so that would be your own, but you cannot let them do automatic, because first of all, it's two different companies. It does not comparable. Secondly, they don't know what you want. So in other words, you have to live the work as what target that you want to, and then do the work and put together, and that will be your own, stuff. And that's
Remember-
valuable.
you have to remember this.
thank you guys. We're finished with the Zoom, so I just want to say thank you all for joining. Let me just see if
Okay.
anybody has any
So-
last minute
So remember
comments.
this, Moxie Present
Thank
you.
You can stop recording.